Good evening, everybody. My sincerest thanks to the Hall of Fame Committee for selecting me for this incredible honor. This means the world to me, and I'm very touched by this. Also thanks to President Videbom, Mike Hertz, and the amazing staff that put this wonderful weekend together. I also would like to thank Joan Shacko for nominating me for this honor, and I would also like to thank Heather Brendel Evans, my college soccer coach, Mrs. Rush, and my colleagues from my workplace for their gracious letters of recommendation on my behalf. Heather and Joan, they're my teammates from the 1980 team, and 39 years later, they're still my very dear friends, and I'm just still very lucky to still have them in my life. I'd like to thank my family and friends who are here tonight. I think the first place a person learns about teamwork is in their own family. And I'm always proud of my family, how they come together to help each other out, and in this case, to celebrate one of us. I also learned that teamwork doesn't have to be a chore, because my family's very dry sense of humor, they always made it a lot of fun. Special thanks to my high school coaches, Cindy Van Hoover, Chuck Emhoff, and Pat Yates. They made sure students knew what their strengths were and then encouraged them to use them. I appreciate the directions they pushed me in, and I spent 37 years in education as a teacher, coach, and administrator, trying to do exactly the same for all of my students. I was talking with Cindy the other day. It was the first time since I retired, so I was just cheering the whole time. She goes, "Sit down and let's just take a look at your career." And she made sure that I understood the impact that I had on a variety of different students. So I appreciate her. She always continues to be a good role model and a mentor for me. I'd like to thank all of my teammates from Cortland. I was able to achieve as much as I did and receive the accolades I was fortunate enough to receive because I was surrounded by a team of amazing women. We had great teamwork. They made it great fun. We were here 2 weekends ago for the dedication of the field and the scoreboard unveiling, and it's as much fun today as it was 39 years ago. Winning nationals opened many doors for me. The best example I have, and I'm sharing this with you because still after all this time I can't believe it myself, but it was a huge door that was opened because of Cortland. So I was on the U.S. women's soccer team training in Europe, and the coach from the men's World Cup team from Denmark was watching us, and then he called us all over, and he said, "You," and I said, but I was thinking, how could I be in trouble? I just got here. I've really been here like 4 or 5 hours. I wasn't sure what was going on. So he said, "You're the smart player and you'll work with me every evening while I'm here." So I just couldn't believe it. So, and I did. I met with him every evening after dinner for hours each night, and I did it for a week. And the coaches from the U.S. team were trying to like sneak into the meeting, and he wouldn't let them in. And we went out and got a notebook. I filled up this huge notebook of from the guy who coached the Denmark's team, all these strategies and techniques and drills and workouts. I could ask him any question I wanted. I had his total attention for a week. So, and you can imagine the impact I've had on me as a player and also as a coach. And I still think, well, what an opportunity. So trust me when I say I'm very grateful for Cortland and all the doors that Cortland's opened for me. Well, at Cortland, I got to be on the groundbreaking level and see how things were created. You know, we were involved in creating the first state, and regional and national championships, All-American lists, and the U.S. team. So one of the best skill sets I learned from all of that was to see what was needed and how to create it. And also how to never let obstacles stop you from making things happen. So these skills helped me a lot in my life, especially when I became an administrator, because it helped me create programs that decrease failures, increase graduation rates, but also help kids with their behavior problems, mental health issues. It really was just about keeping them in school and making sure they didn't drop out. So I'm grateful for that. I learned about success. I often reflected back to the 1980 team to try to pull that apart and figure out what made them so successful as a team and an individual. So I pulled all that apart in my mind and figured out a blueprint for myself for success. And I used that quite a bit in my administrative career, my community efforts, and just my life in general. So, and it was a good strategy for me. Just with all humility, I tell you that all I ever did was just try to learn as much as I could and then teach it to as many kids as I could, just in an effort to have a positive impact on my students, their parents, my teachers I work with, and my community. I just wanted to help to encourage and to give back to as many as I could because I've been so fortunate. I never in a million years expected to be recognized for any of this, so I'm very humble and grateful. When I practiced this, I didn't cry at all, so. Very grateful to the committee for selecting me for this. Going through this whole process started way back in January, and I was given what we athletes call a second wind. So I'm learning that every time I come back to Cortland or I'm with my teammates, I get a new wave of inspiration. So I'm very excited about what's coming for me in my next chapter in life. And so from the bottom of my very full heart, thank you for the inspiration, the recognition, and this incredible honor.